I have to make my swimsuit really visible so YouTube knows I'm not messing with the community guidelines. Okay. Hi. I fucking hated the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm gonna tell you why. Alright? This is Pirate. I don't know if you can see his little face. He just kind of turns into a black blob a lot of the time. Here he is. Oh, what a cool guy. Okay, I hated this movie. And I feel like any self-respecting Queen fan should also hate this movie because it's trash. It's a giant pile of American and British trash. Okay? Quote me, and I don't give a fuck. I watched this movie opening weekend, being me, because that's what I do. It came out a few years ago, and I could tell while watching it that there were a lot of problems with the script. I could also tell while watching it that there were likely a lot of problems during production, during pre-production even. I was like, okay, I think I know what's going on here. I suspected that the members of Queen, the surviving members of Queen, Brian May, the guitarist, John Deacon, the drummer, and Roger Taylor, John Deacon's the bassist, Roger Taylor is the drummer, were too involved with writing the script, and they wanted to make it about them, understandably so. If I were a rock star, if I were in their position, I would want to do the same thing. However, y'all would be nothing without Freddie, and don't act like you don't know. Please. Like, Perlies, okay? That's how you fucking spell police in British English. You spell it with a goddamn R. But, like, police, okay? Y'all fucking know for a fact you would be nothing without Freddie Mercury. And this is not a Freddie Mercury biopic, okay? It's like it looked like a Queen, a made-for-TV movie about Queen. And it sucked. And I wish I could name names here, but I don't know off the top of my head who made the decision to cast Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury, because I don't know if a worse decision could have been made. I don't. Oh shit, now I'm forgetting the guy's name. There's a guy on YouTube. His first name is Marc, with a C. I don't remember his last name, but it starts with an M. Who looks and sounds and performs just like Freddie Mercury. It is pretty uncanny, honestly. And that guy was popular on YouTube before they ever started shooting Bohemian Rhapsody, yet they didn't think to get that guy to play Freddie. Maybe he didn't have the acting chops, which, in all fairness, is a reason not to cast him. But I think he actually does a lot of the singing in that movie. I think they were actually using his voice for Freddie's voice a lot of the time. I forgot to warn you that this video is not going to be as coherent as I'd have liked because I didn't write any notes. But now that I got this idea in my head that I needed to make this video, and now I'm making it. I just had to do it, because if I hadn't done it, I would have been fucking up all night until I did it. But anyway, this movie sucks. Like I said, it looks like a made-for-TV movie about Queen. It looks like a... Sorry, let me rephrase that. It looks like a made-for-TV movie from about maybe like the 90s, from a not as well-off channel that made it. So, like, their budget was like... I think it was actually somewhat high budget, but that's a little bit surprising given how trash the outcome was. Listen... I knew about these problems just from watching the movie, and like I said in the alternate take of this video that I started a minute ago, I'm not the average moviegoer. And I truly did not look these things up. I could just tell from watching the movie that these problems existed. I could tell that the surviving members of Queen wanted to make it about them. I could tell that they weren't truly honoring Freddie. Don't go. He's going. Okay, bye. I could tell that there were extreme issues with the production of this movie, and I could tell that Rami Malek sucked as Freddie Mercury. If I were Freddie Mercury's family or whoever the shit is in charge of his affairs now, I would be pretty adamant that a British person play him. That's just me. But we got this American who I actually really like. I actually quite like Rami Malek. I think he's beautiful. I think he's also married. But sweet thing, if you want to hit me up, by all means hit me up. Didn't like him as Freddie. At all. First of all, he looks absolutely nothing like him. Not even at all. He's kind of weird looking, like Freddie Mercury was, and they actually are of similar ethnicity, but to me, they don't look alike at all. Freddie Mercury was way taller than Rami Malek. Cannot sing. He was lip syncing. He was using prosthetic teeth the whole time, which isn't really that big of a deal, but like, this movie just sucked. I hated this movie so much, and I really felt like it was a disservice to Freddie Mercury. And I feel like anyone who actually really loves and cares for Freddie and his music and his legacy, etc., would feel the same way. Something really changed in my life, like in my soul, in my body, when Rami Malek won Best Actor. He won the Oscar for Best Actor for playing Freddie Mercury in this movie. I was like, we have a garbage script, we have a garbage production, we have a garbage movie that actually did well because of the subject matter, yet this guy is gonna win an Oscar for it? For acting when we had a trash script? Really? Really? I forgot what it's called. I forgot what it's called. There was the giant concert that Queen did for Africa or something. I can't quite remember. I'm so sorry. But there was a giant concert they did with, I think, over 100,000 people in the audience, and you can still watch clips from it today on the YouTube. Okay? That happened in 1985. Can't remember what it was, I'm sorry. But that specific concert happened in 1985. And in the movie, they were showing Freddie showing signs of HIV/AIDS. And they had him being like, oh, he was sick, but then he went and did this concert anyway. You dumb shits. Anyone who can read a fucking Wikipedia article knows that that concert happened in 1985 and Freddie was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS in 1987. Don't you dare try to fucking make a... Why the fuck are you trying to make... Why are you making this movie that's chronologically inaccurate, that sucks, and, like, that you had some rock stars try to write the script for? Y'all should stick to rockin'. Stick to being rock stars. You're very fucking clearly not writers, okay? And that was my whole issue with the movie. I was like, it seems like the surviving members of Queen are trying to they want to get their paws all up in this movie, but it ain't working. And that's in fact exactly what happened. And when I looked it up further, I was like, holy shit. Because I came across this article. And this, like, I actually remembered this. It, like, unearthed this memory I didn't know I had, that Sacha Baron Cohen was actually going to play Freddie Mercury to begin with. He was going to be him, and if you look at pictures of them side by side, also uncanny how much they look alike. And if I am not mistaken, Sacha Baron Cohen can actually sing, unlike Rami Malek. But so he was in line to do this movie with with help from the surviving members of Queen. This movie about Freddie Mercury, a Freddie Mercury biopic. Okay, And it wasn't working. They were not working well together. They were polite about it because they're English, go British folks. But like, eventually, Sacha Baron fucking Cohen was like, okay, this is not working for me. Peace out. Good luck. And that was a mistake on the surviving members of Queen's part. Because, like, I know y'all very badly wanted to do that scene with Mike Myers, but, like, that would have been a better, like, YouTube vid than making an entire feature film about it just so you could do that scene. Y'all do not know how fucking dumb you look. And I really feel like this movie disrespected Freddie. I really do, because y'all made it more about you than you did about him, and golly gee whirlikers, if anyone deserves a movie from the band Queen, it would be Freddie Mercury, wouldn't it? I heard that the surviving members of Queen, so Roger, I forgot their names already. John, Deacon, and Brian May. I know Brian May. I remember Brian May. Apparently, they wanted the whole movie to the Queen process, the Queen thing to be happening, and they wanted Freddie to die at the midpoint. And then they wanted the whole rest of the movie to be about the Queen legacy. I see where they were coming from with that, but that wasn't good. From a script writing standpoint, that fucking wouldn't have worked. Ever. What would have worked is if he had died at the end of Act 2. And then Act 3 could have been, yes, unfortunately he's no longer with us, but like, look at this legacy that he left us. Look that Queen can still perform as a band, but not with Adam Lambert. I don't know why y'all have Adam Lambert performing with you, because he doesn't, he can't even hold a fucking candle or a lighter or a cell phone to Freddie Mercury. Quote me. He's talented. He's good at what he does. His energy is fucking weak. Okay. Some things that were missed in the Queen movie. It wasn't the Queen movie. It was Brian May and John Deacon and Roger Taylor's movie. Y'all fucking want to watch that movie? I don't. But apparently people did want to watch it. I forgot my train of thought. I had a train of thought and then I lost it. Okay. Personally, I would argue that Queen actually perfected the music video. I would honestly argue that out of all the bands that like really started music videos, because Queen was not the only one, there were other bands around when the music videos were actually really gaining traction. Queen blew everyone out of the water. Queen took the cake. And that's because of Freddie. Hello! One scene that really annoyed me, that I could tell that the actors, it was a masturbation station, that the actors and Brian May obviously wanted to shoot, was the writing of We Will Rock You. There's this story I've heard, I haven't fact checked, but I believe it, that John Lennon wrote the song Help in 15 minutes at his dining room table or in his kitchen or something. And like, cool, that's not really surprising to me at all, but I honestly don't want to watch a 15-minute scene of him writing a song, because that would be boring as fuck. And it was actually boring as fuck watching y'all write We Will Rock You, and I'm not sorry, okay? I think it's really unfortunate that they also like skimped out so much. They skimped out so much on really the severity of Freddie's illness. There's real music videos of him when he's ill, still performing. Okay? And and y'all can go watch them right now on YouTube if you want to. But like, I just feel like no one really wants to push actors anymore. Like, first of all, no one picks decent scripts to make into movies. Second of all, if they do, they don't want to push the actors to the point of where they're actually properly performing. And third of all, maybe that's because it's sort of abusive, but hey, you signed up to be an actor, didn't you? Didn't you? Something Kubrick did that is, and I don't know if it's now deemed questionable, ain't there, but it probably is. He would have actors do a scene over 40 times, over 50 times. That scene in The Shining where Jack is cutting the door down with the axe, they shot that over 100 times. And the reason Kubrick did that was because he would tire his actors out. He would make them exhausted. And this was when they were still fucking working with film, okay? They had limited canisters of film to work with every day, and he would still do 119 takes, okay? Once he exhausted them, their performance was a little bit more believable because they were tired and they had finally relaxed into the scene that they could actually properly do it. I feel like we barely even fucking saw Rami Malek act. Like, barely. Like, acting is not just like, oh, here I am, like, cooking the food, like, oh, here I am, like, saying the words. Like, I want to see you get emotional. I want to see you lose your shit. I want to see you on the fucking floor, like, crying or whatever the fuck. Because isn't that what someone would do if they found out they had AIDS in the 80s? I was recently reading about Ryan White. I'm pretty sure. I feel like Queen did a thing for him. A bunch of rock stars did some performances for him specifically. Ryan White was a child who was a hemophiliac in the 80s. And the medical industry was fucking stupid enough to give blood transfusions without testing the blood at this point in time. So poor Ryan White received HIV-infected blood as a hemophiliac. And he therefore got AIDS. And he lived for a lot longer than they expected. But, like, that sucks. That's really sad. That's heartbreaking. And I didn't feel heartbroken, like, at all during Bohemian Rhapsody, aside from the fact that it sucked as a movie. I felt like y'all did Freddie wrong. Y'all did him so wrong. You guys didn't even show the fact that he liked cats. Like, what the fuck? How dare you? You didn't even put Delilah in there? How dare you? The reason I bring this up is because there was some fucking giant misunderstanding with the short I posted just before this one. Everyone was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't like Bohemian Rhapsody. And that's partially Graham King's fault. He's the producer of that movie. One of the producers, there was probably more than one, I don't remember. I only saw that movie the one time in the theater because why the fuck would I watch it again? He is producing the Michael Jackson biopic. And personally, because I fucking hated Bohemian Rhapsody so much, I don't trust him. I don't trust him with a Michael Jackson biopic. At all. I was going to say something else about that. Oh, he didn't even, okay. He did Equalizer 3, which I haven't seen. He did The Aviator, which I thought was hot shit when I was a child. But I watched it again, and I thought it sucked. And he did Bohemian Rhapsody, which also sucked. So I think he's done more than that, but we're looking at at least 66% of his stuff that I do not appreciate and I don't like. And I don't really know how to address this, what I'm saying. I don't know how to go about. I don't know if you hired a different producer, if that would make a better movie. I don't know. If you hired a different producer, that would make a better movie. I do not know. I don't know enough about that whole rigmarole to say. But my point is that I'm worried about the Michael Jackson biopic. But we'll see. I mean, I think it's really cool that Jafar Jackson is going to be playing Michael Jackson. I had no idea who he was until I heard of that. I heard that he was in the movie. Looks and sounds like Michael Jackson. He is a Jackson. He's his nephew. He's Jermaine's son. I think that's great. Good for him. I'm very happy for him. I just hope that he can act, because it's going to be his first movie. And I don't know if y'all have seen Aladdin, but whatever the heck that kid's name who played Aladdin, that was his first movie. And I guess the average person can't tell when someone's not experienced, when an actor is not experienced, but I could tell. And I fucking hated that movie too. That's a different video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to talk more about Bohemian Rhapsody. I feel like there's something else I really wanted to say. I'm just not remembering Freddie really face any hardships in that movie, in Bohemian Rhapsody. I remember he was kind of like, it was kind of implied that it was sad when he was like calling up his friend. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. He was calling her up to like drink with him, and that was like the only part that was like, okay, that's kind of sad, but like it didn't even really look that sad, because like I fucking said, none of these people are like actually getting performances out of these actors, and you can't very well act when you have a trash script. And I'm gonna be real mad if the Michael Jackson biopic has a trash script too. I can talk more about this, but I'm gonna go. Goodbye.